Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren. Hello, Lauren.
I said hello before you and said hello to me. I'm raring to go.
That's
I'm
right.
ready to go.
Hey, man, post-Olympics. We have a lot to talk about at the Olympics and other things. If you want to send us email, you can email us to podcast@wildershow.com. We are on Instagram. Wilder Show Pod is what you'll search. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, on the TikTok now and again. You can find us on the TikTok. Just search Wilder Show Podcast or Wilder Show. You'll find it. Wherever you get your podcasts, you'll find us, and you can like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. I am seeing, Lauren, increased activity.
On the likes and all of those things?
And also the listens and all the...
Well, thanks.
It's a silent little vote. Mm-hmm. It's a vote that costs you nothing. Mm-hmm. Early voting took place over the weekend.
That's right.
And but this, you don't have to drive anywhere. You're already listening. So just click that heart or the thumbs up or whatever it is on your...
You've already built the muscles in those thumbs.
That's right.
You have powerful thumbs.
You've
just
built
one
them.
one little tap, one more little tap.
You've built them for nonsense and foolishness. Now use them for something good. Use your power for good. Okay. All right, let's dive in. We have to talk about several things. The first thing is the Olympics.
Yeah.
We'll get to hockey in a second. But one other thing about, we talked about, is it Alyssa Liu?
Alyssa
Liu.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we sat down last, it was before we knew that our friend from Plano would likely not medal.
Yeah.
But we didn't know. And it was Alyssa Liu was actually in third place going into that, not second. I was thinking second, or we were thinking second. But it was third place. And it was 2 Japanese and 1 us. Mm-hmm. And it was Alyssa Liu. Yeah. And of course, she got the gold medal on a great skate.
And I think we've talked about this before. It is on brand for me, as the kids say. Oh, yeah. I got the notification that Alyssa Liu had won the gold medal early in the day on Thursday before we had the opportunity to watch it Thursday night. And honestly, I enjoyed it so much more.
Oh, is that right? That's how
that she won.
That's how my mom and my aunt, or my late great Aunt Mary, would rather know the end of the Cowboy game, good or bad, because they rooted against the Cowboys. Yeah, she rooted it. My mom still roots against the Cowboys, but she would like to know ahead of time so she's not nervous.
I don't know that
she can enjoy their defeat. In your case, enjoy her victory.
I don't know that I feel like that about all sports, but in this case, there's just something about that. Well, we saw it. We saw it with Amber Glenn. We saw it with Iliam Malinen. They train and train and train, and it all comes down to that one thing. And when you watch them fall, it's just heartbreaking. And this goes back decades of watching figure skating in the Olympics. So I don't mind knowing beforehand that she did well, especially knowing that she did well. Loved her, from the start.
Eileen Gu, you know who that is?
I do.
Okay. You know the whole story. I want to juxtapose these two.
Go ahead. Tell me.
You probably know all this, but Eileen Gu is an Olympic freestyle skier. Yeah. Born here, raised here, trained here, lives here. She was built here. Yeah. Chinese parents. Mm-hmm. China comes calling and promises her, according to reports, $23 million. Wow. She decides she doesn't want to ski for the country where she was born, where she was raised and trained and lives and was built. Mm-hmm. She takes the money and flies under the communist Chinese flag, which makes my head explode.
I know.
And you compare that to Alyssa Liu. Yeah. Also, Chinese parents. Mm-hmm. Her dad had fled communist China.
1988.
It was right after the Tiananmen Square revolution in those days. Right. They were under some great threat, even as they lived here in America, as he lived here in America.
There had been some courting, I think, of China, her to skate for China, and then some other kind of weird, maybe nefarious things too, where they were under the microscope or being watched by, they thought they were being watched.
As I recall, there was some international or world competition, not Olympics, that was taking place in Beijing.
Okay.
And the dad and she, Alyssa Liu, were nervous about her going there for fear that she could be abducted there and kept there. And it was only after there were great promises made
to her
by
father.
the U.S. Skating Committee or whatever organization that she would be kept safe. Anyway,
you're right.
So she had been offered everything too, and she said no. And Eileen Gu said yes.
Yeah.
And it makes me crazy. Very difficult for me to, certainly over these Olympics, but really ever root for Eileen Gu. Not that she cares. Who cares what I think? How about one little very odd observation? Something you have heard from no one else.
Okay.
The Olympics.
It does happen from time to time. And I hear things from you that I've heard from no one else.
Like twice weekly? That's just on the recording.
Average, yeah.
That's just on the recording. The Olympics, the announcing at the Olympics, you may have noticed, are in English. No matter what country where the Olympics are, they're always in English. They are also always in French. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Because English and French are the two official languages of the Olympics.
Has that always been?
Yes.
Or since when?
Yeah, since like not going back, to the Parthenon or whatever, but yeah, it's a hat tip to the founding member of the IOC or the International Olympic Committee chair that has since passed or whatever. But it is always in English. It is always in French. So say, Madame, Messieurs, please, if it's possible, please stand, right, to do the thing. And then they'll say it in English, and they'll say it in the native language. So if they're in this case, Italy, they'll say it in Italian.
Right.
Next time around in 4 years, well, they'll be in France, so Paris, so they'll only say it in English and in French. But anyway, those are the only two languages, English and French. They also use the language, as I said, where the Olympics take place. In this case, it was Italy. Now, we've talked before about how it's pretty cool to have a last name that is an adjective, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the last name is Wilder. It really is named Wilder. And Wilder is a name, but it's also an adjective. That's sort of fun. But let me tell you something that's even crazier. Jack Hughes, we'll talk about him in a minute, but Jack Hughes, his name is a whole sentence.
It is?
If you say it in French, which they did in announcements, and that's when I noticed it.
Okay.
Jack Hughes. How would that be said in French?
I don't know.
Jacques Hughes.
I took to...
Jacques Hughes.
Jacques Hughes.
I accuse.
Wow.
That is a sentence. Jacques Hughes. So there you go. Little thing that...
And no, you just came up with that on your own.
I did.
You just noticed that on your own. Nobody pointed it out.
You think anyone else in the 8 billion people in the world? Yes. No, I really came up with that on my...
I mean, that's a little bit of...
Jacques Hughes.
Some interesting trivia.
So you think, because it's interesting, you think it must not have come just from me.
I wouldn't have put it together like that.
I'm talking about the results in the question.
Well, I think it's even more impressive that you didn't get that from somebody else. That you actually came up.
I got it from no one. I thought it was kind of stupid. Jacques Hughes, but his name is Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
And man, that guy. I mean, what have I always said? You've asked me many times. Somebody will give a statement, and I'll say that's not what they should say. Here's what they should say. And you've or when I don't say that, you say, well, what should they say? The ones who are being interviewed, athletes in the Olympics representing America. And I'm going to play for you what they should say. Did you hear what Jack Hughes said?
No.
In his interview? Okay, I want you to listen to this.
Okay.
Then we'll get your immediate reaction. I love that you don't know what he said.
This is all about our country right now. I love the USA. I love my teammates. It's unbelievable. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong. And we had so much support from ex-players. I'm so proud to be American today. Unbelievable game by Hellebuck. He was our best player tonight by a mile. Unbelievable game. Unreal game by our team. That's just a ballsy, gutsy win. That's American hockey right there. That's a great Canadian team, but we're USA. We're so proud to be Americans. Tonight was all for the country. It's everything. Like I said, the USA Hockey Brotherhood means so much. Look at these guys. We're such a team. We've been together for 2 weeks. We're such a team. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong, and we're so proud to win for our country.
I love it. No notes. Nothing to change.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, the guy is just 100%. And in another place, he said, they have great players, but we were a great team.
That's all the difference, isn't it?
That is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I'm misty even thinking about it.
I know.
Because that is not just a sports story. That is the American story. The British had better uniforms. The British had more organization. The British had better weapons. But we were a better team.
We were a team.
I mean, it just makes me... So when you're wondering, what should an athlete say? What should a skater, a woman who is a skater, say when she's being interviewed? What should a skier say, or a snowboarding guy say when he has the American flag on his chest? What should he say? Go back, everybody study what Jack Hughes said. And if you can't say that, honestly, don't say anything. And by the way, and when he's being interviewed, when he's saying all that, he has lost a tooth. He's bleeding from his mouth and his nose.
It's tough sport.
As he is talking to the interviewer. Just his grandma lives here in the area.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, anyway, Canada had the best players. I mean, arguably the best players in the world. They had McKinnon, Makar, McDavid on the ice. 3 of the best in hockey. Celebrini and Crosby. Crosby didn't play in this. That was a big disappointment for the Canadian fans. Crosby wasn't playing. And then, of course, when it gets into overtime, it's 3-on-3, which I'm not a big fan of. And a lot of people think, well, that's not real hockey. Well, it's real hockey in the NHL. I mean, they adopted the whole 3-on-3 for overtime.
Yeah. In
the NHL, but not in playoffs.
Okay.
So in playoffs, they have still, the full team, full strength. But in the Olympics, they have 3-on-3. So it's 3-on-3. So it was our 3 against their 3. And most people in the world would say that McKinnon, Makar, and McDavid are among the very best in the world. But it came down to, I think, not having the best players in the world, but having the best team.
Yeah.
And America had the best team. The United States of America had the best team, and we won the gold. You see that Jack Hughes is he's dating Tate McRae?
Really?
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Okay, now here's the deal. First, Jack Hughes takes their pop star, and then he takes their gold medal.
Poor Canada.
Oh, Canada.
I didn't know Tate McRae was Canadian.
One more thing about Jack Hughes, because I'm a bit obsessed by our victory. Jack Hughes said in an interview later that the night before the gold medal game, he had a dream that it was tied and that he scored the winning goal.
Wow.
And then he said, I dreamed about that as a 6-year-old.
Oh.
And still have that dream as a 24-year-old.
I love it. Oh, my gosh.
Is that great? And by the way, I've never loved Leonard Skinner more. Free Bird is the victory song.
Yeah.
Was also the women's hockey team victory song. They, of course, kudos to them. They won the gold also over Canada.
Big year for hockey.
Their victory song, too. That's a 9-minute song. You know how long the guitar solo is?
No.
More than 5 minutes of that.
Is it really?
Yeah, that 9 minutes is the guitar solo. Now, here, one more little piece of weirdness. It was to the day 46 years from Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, it was.
It was the 46th anniversary of Miracle on Ice.
Which was not the gold medal, but beating the Soviets.
We beat the Soviets. So we all remember that. It was on that day, 46 years before.
As long as we're talking about it, the anniversary of the gold medal win for the U.S. Olympic hockey team in 1980 is today.
It was the most gold medals that the U.S. has ever won in a Winter Olympics and the most total medals that the American teams have ever won in any Winter Olympics. So it's the best we've ever done.
Yeah.
It's the best we've ever done.
Good showing.
Nancy Guthrie, it won't be possible to resolve this before February 28th. All your nervousness about maybe today on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week, no, it's not going to happen. Maybe we'll explain why.
Okay.
It might be long after that. I mean, if ever. But there is no way it's going to be resolved before February the 28th.
And why is that?
Actually, I'm a little bit nervous about even putting some of this stuff out there. In fact, we'll see if I can do it in a way that we leave it in the podcast. If it's all been edited out, then we'll leave it with just this. We don't believe the video from that night was from that night, the night of the abduction. We think it was from earlier, like January the 11th. We don't believe she was abducted for money. And we always have to say, perhaps this will all be resolved before you even listen to this, but I don't think so. In fact, as we said, if Nancy Guthrie is alive, I don't believe it will be resolved before the 28th. All right, now let's see if I can artfully share some of this to keep it in. Just the facts, and you can read between the lines. Mm-hmm. Savannah Guthrie, in September 2019, conducted the exclusive Dateline NBC interviews with multiple survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking ring, including Virginia Roberts Giuffre, to detail abuse by Epstein and by Ghislaine Maxwell. In the latest release of the Epstein files, Guthrie's interview with Epstein victims was mentioned multiple times.
Wow.
In an email with the sender's name and the recipient's name redacted, it contains a discussion about NBC Dateline interview with the survivors. And the email says, below is the list of those we know of who were interviewed for Dateline. A follow-up email gives details of what one of the redacted people in the email exchange said during an interview with Guthrie. Here's what it says. Just wanted to give you a heads up. She's done another interview with Savannah Guthrie, and in it, she said the following. The email mentioned they redacted a bunch. They plan to air it on Today and Dateline. Hope that's helpful. So that is among the things of the 3 million or whatever it was, some information about Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie's husband is Michael Feldman. He worked for the Clinton administration for all 8 of their years. You remember Joe Lockhart?
I do.
He was press secretary for some of the Clinton years. After the Clinton years, in fact, just after the end of the Clinton years, in 2001, Joe Lockhart was a founding member with Michael Feldman, Savannah Guthrie's husband, of a communications/crisis management group called the Glover Park Group.
Okay.
That company was purchased later, and Michael Feldman currently works for that international public relations company. The name of it is FGS Global. He is North American co-chair. By the way, part of what a communications crisis management team does is make stuff disappear.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Scrubbing stuff, making things disappear. Obviously, the ones who make stuff disappear can know about the stuff, but their job is to make it go away, and maybe even wipe it from the internet if possible. General Petraeus, Republican, ran for president, was going to.
Yeah.
Got into very deep voodoo because of his nonsense. Cleaning all that up included the Glover Park Group. So if the Glover Park Group is going to make some stuff about Petraeus disappear, it has to know about the stuff about Petraeus, right? To control it, you have to know about it. First, to spin it, you have to know about it. And to make it go away, you have to know about it. That's part of what a great crisis management company would do. Emails, for example, make them disappear, stuff like that. That's a little background on the Glover Park Group and on Savannah Guthrie's husband, Michael Feldman. Okay, the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability. It's very boring. People's eyes glaze over even with the title of a committee from the House of Representatives. The House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, chaired by Representative James Comer. That's the group that is investigating the Epstein files. That's the committee that called Pam Bondi, right?
Right.
And others to testify. And among the people they invited to testify were Bill and Hillary Clinton. And they both said no to that invitation. So the committee said, yeah, but we really do want you to testify. And the way you get people to do that who don't want to do that is you have to subpoena them.
Right.
So the committee did that. This is something that you have to do. If the first thing is an invitation, the subpoena is more like a command, right? Unless you defy the subpoena, in which case you can be found in contempt of Congress, or if it's just the court, contempt of court, and there could be a warrant issued for your arrest. So how did they respond to the subpoena? So they said no to the invitation. What did they say? And then Congress said, yeah, but we want you to. So they subpoenaed Bill and Hillary Clinton. And how did they respond to that? On January the 13th, Bill and Hillary Clinton said, yeah, we're defying that. We're not going to testify on the Epstein files. Okay, so Congress is now stymied. They're trying to figure out what do we have to do to get them to testify. We've asked them, they've said no. We commanded that they come with a subpoena, and they have defied the subpoena. The only thing we have left is to arrest them or just to let them defy Congress.
Well, you can't do that, right?
Right.
Then everybody does it.
Correct. Meanwhile, it was on Friday, January 30th, that the 3 million more Epstein files were released.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, on January 31st, Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy Guthrie, was abducted.
Yeah.
Michael Feldman's mother-in-law was abducted.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, on Monday, February 2nd, Bill and Hillary Clinton agreed to testify on the Epstein files.
That's pretty crazy.
Okay, not concluding anything. Don't even know if that's going to stay in the podcast, but those dates are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. And so, when are they going to testify? They're going to testify on the 26th and the 27th. Now, totally unrelated. Kind of in where we began.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe, if Nancy Guthrie is alive, that this will be resolved before the 28th. State of the Union, the president. State of the Union is tomorrow night. Listen, the president is saying it's going to be a long speech. If he's already telling us to be a long speech, and we know it's going to be a long speech.
Because he's giving it. We know it's going to be a long speech.
That's what we say. You know why he says it has to be a long speech? He says because we will be reviewing all of my accomplishments.
Okay.
Yikes. That is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I guess I'll watch, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something else in the news that might take our attention away from the State of the Union address. I mean, I don't know. Speaking of Iran, the end of today is the end of what I thought would be my a week to 10 days, the window.
Yeah.
Which I think I extended through next weekend. But I didn't wait until today to do that. I think last Thursday. I said, you know, it may not be this weekend. It may be one more week. But it's going to be soon. I don't think it's going to be anything more than. And the longer we wait, the more, firepower and manpower and air power we have and missile power we have in the region. But I did see that there was an evacuation order given yesterday to those in some military bases. And that's something we've seen before. When those orders are given, it's like, you probably better do it. And then, boom, after that, something happens. The new protests in Iran, it's amazing. Those new protests in Iran are coming up right about now.
Yeah. When
the buildup is happening, a lot of people think these things are orchestrated. Mm-hmm. These protests are not organic. That they happen. Oh, we have our fighters there. We have our airships there. We have our munitions there. And then there is somebody pokes the bear, and there are these protests. And then there's a reaction to the protest. And then there's a reason, quote, reason for us to go to war. But one of the things to think about as we're, I think, likely between now and Friday's podcast, if not, then immediately thereafter, is to think about this. If to go to, I don't say war, whatever it is we're going to do against Iran, if it has to do with enrichment, doesn't that fly in the face of everything the president told us? That they have obliterated their ability for enrichment? If we even talk about that enrichment or nuclear has anything to do, the uranium, I thought that previous thing we did, according to what we were told, obliterated their ability to do that. But if we don't use that, then what are we going to use as the reason to do it anyway? I think it's a mess, and we'll watch it. And of course, as we will watch, though I don't want to, the State of the Union address tonight by the president, and have probably something to say about that. Mexico. I've never been a fan of going to Mexico.
I've only been once.
I love the James Taylor song, Mexico. That's a good song. There are places you can go in Mexico that are fun. I've been to, I've only been once, but I've never been a big fan of going to Mexico. As you know, when you were going, I said, really? Be careful. Be really, really careful in Mexico. No matter where you're going in Mexico, be careful. Even if the place where you're going to end up in Mexico is a good, safe place. You got to get there.
Yeah.
And they're not going to, airdrop you in to the safe place behind the wall. You have to get there. And so, wow. So the Mexican military kills a drug cartel leader. Let me say, if the president were talking about this cartel leader, here's how the president would describe him. He is notorious, the likes of which the world has never seen before. He is a very notorious, I guess notorious doesn't really need a qualifier, but he's a notorious cartel leader. And how did the Mexican military know where he was? American intelligence told him. Yeah, a little help from their friends north of the border. And so they're mad at Americans too. And have you watched any of that, any of the coverage of that at all?
I've read the follow-up.
Well, one of the things that we've seen is the cartel. You've heard me. Remember me talking about being in Nigeria and having some bad guys stop the flow of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
And pulling people out of the vehicles. That's what we're seeing that the cartel is doing. They're like down the road, you're driving down the road, and the cartel pulls these big black SUVs right in front of you, and you either have to back up or scurry around them, or they're yelling at you, banging on the windows, saying, get out, get out, get out. I mean, so if you see any of that video, that's exactly what it was like that I've told you about being in Nigeria with only the people on the outside happened to be Islamists. So whatever that adds to the fear, then put it in the story. Oh, it is a time for Scatter Shoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Shows Scatter Shoot. All right.
Are you really a podcast if you don't talk about Punch the Monkey? You know who Punch the Monkey is, don't you?
I don't know what Punch the Monkey is.
You don't know what Punch the Monkey is?
No, but
okay, but it's not a what Punch the Monkey is. It is a who is Punch the Monkey. Because Punch is the name of the little 7-month-old Japanese macaque. He was abandoned by his mother.
Oh, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of maybe an AI monkey.
Oh, yeah, this is
okay,
Punch is an
monkey.
Actual monkey. Okay. Although when you watch some of the videos, just because there is so much question now between what we see, is this real or is it AI? He was really kind of mistreated by some of the other monkeys. You've got to watch the videos.
Okay, well,
you
real
have
quick.
to see the videos.
So real quick, Punch the Monkey.
The monkey. Punch.
Okay, I was thinking like, did you punch the monkey?
No.
Punch is the name of the monkey.
Punch is the name of the monkey.
Ah, okay.
Which, I mean, maybe his name has encouraged other monkeys to mistreat him. I don't know. That's sort of an unfortunate name to be given. Punch. Yeah, Punch is a baby monkey in Japan, captured hearts around the world, videos of him. I didn't realize that this happened really quickly. I guess it's just over this last weekend. Videos of him being bullied by other monkeys and rejected by his mother. He was born last July in the Ichikawa Zoo. And apparently it's not that unusual for a monkey to be abandoned by his mother. There are lots of reasons for that to happen. Sometimes a female, a mother macaque is immature, or there might be other reasons. It happens from time to time.
Just to go back and finish college.
Yeah, Punch is not the only monkey to ever have been abandoned. But when a baby macaque's mom is not there to protect him. He is there's more to talk about there too, but he's kind of, at the mercy of the other macaques. And these videos show him being like, tousled around and pushed out of the way and mistreated and running off and cowering. It is really, I mean, if you're susceptible to things like this, if things like this make you teary and make you upset, you gotta. I couldn't watch them all because it was really sad.
Well, I want to ask the same thing I ask sometimes when I watch television.
What's that?
I hear stories like this about Punch the Monkey.
Okay.
Where's the dad?
Japanese macaques are they're matrilineal hierarchies.
Okay.
So I guess the moms are in charge.
So when the moms leave, that's it.
If a mom leaves, you're kind of on your own.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was another thing too. It even if Punch's mom had not abandoned him, chances are he would have been subject to that sort of cruelty from other macaques. If your mom is not that high up in the matrilineal hierarchy, you could still be subject to mistreatment. But at least in this case, if your mom hasn't abandoned you, you'd have your mom to take care of you. So the whole thing is they gave the people at the zookeepers gave Punch a stuffed monkey, which I guess we don't call stuffed animals anymore. They're called stuffies or plushies. They're not called stuffed animals. I don't know why that is. But
maybe stuffed has to do with the actual taxodermy stuffed.
Yeah, but didn't you call your kids toys stuffed animals?
Sure,
we called them all stuffed animals. Something in the last 10 years or so that's changed, and nobody calls them stuffed animals
anymore. If you give
anymore.
to the World Wildlife Fund, they'll give you a plush elephant to commemorate your symbolic adoption of an entire elephant, which is surprising you could do that for 53 cents a day.
Wow.
Whole elephant.
Uh-huh.
It's a symbolic elephant.
Yeah.
So you get a plush toy. Or a plush elephant. Yeah, I don't know why they call them plush.
I don't know. Plushies or stuffies. So after Punch was abandoned by his mom, zookeepers gave him a stuffed orangutan. They had tried to give him some rolled up towels first to give him something to hold on to, but he wasn't really interested.
This is to comfort him, is it? Or to make,
It's for comfort, but there are other things too. Okay. Apparently that is the way that clinging on is what helps them build their muscles. So it's a part of their development. It's of course also comfort and feeding if the macaque is still nursing.
Gotcha.
I mean, but obviously a stuffed orangutan cannot do that. But they got him this stuffed orangutan, and then on the videos you see him like rushing off to get he gets mistreated by the other macaques, and he runs off to get his little stuffed orangutan. And in one of the videos, he lays down and covers himself up with the stuffed orangutan. And it is, I mean, it's really it's really hard to watch.
I don't know very much about macaques. But it seems to me that Punch the monkey having to have his little stuffy would make him get beat up more.
by the bully macaques.
It's like, hey, Punch. Yeah, you leave that over there. Come over here.
It doesn't work that way, I guess, in the macaque world. But the other thing about this is after people saw these videos of Punch being comforted by his stuffed orangutan, it was discovered that stuffed orangutan came from IKEA. It's the IKEA Djungelskog, which you can look. That's the IKEA things. IKEA, all their things have like weird Swedish names.
Yeah, but
this is called the Djungelskog. That's the name.
So it's an international relationship.
I guess it is. But don't write down Djungelskog or anything like that because you can't get them anymore. Because everybody got so excited by the stuffed orangutan that they're sold out. So, I mean, if IKEA is as smart as they think they are, they will probably restock soon, though. So everybody can have their own comfort orangutan.
People are the worst. They're the worst.
I guess macaques are pretty tough too, though.
Yeah.
We've talked about Waymo vehicles. What's the first thing that comes to mind? What makes Waymo special?
They're driverless.
They're driverless.
Yeah, driverless.
Are they really driverless though?
I think they are. Isn't that why they have like 9,000 different cameras all around it, always checking out all the different possibilities, the permutations, and the car then knows when to turn, when not to turn, when to defer, when not to defer, maybe even reads the face of the person, assuming it's not a Waymo, in the oncoming vehicle to identify things like that.
Well, they've built their image on the concept that those vehicles are fully driverless. They drive themselves. Yeah. The reality, though, of course, is that these vehicles still need human intervention from remote operators who are tasked with making like really critical decisions, like whether to abandon a blocked lane or what to do in an unexpected construction zone. There are still people, in a big, they're like in a big windowless warehouse somewhere, and watching for the Waymos to make sure that they don't need some human intervention to get out of a jam.
But let me ask you some questions, because what you're not saying, let me finish, but what you're not saying is that every time you take a Waymo, somebody goes, Lisa, grab the thing, and then she's actually doing that. Like you have people that come to your house, and you may have a monitored thing for security. There's no single person assigned to monitoring your house.
No,
hey, that guy doesn't look familiar.
It's a whole lot of people.
Oh, that's a guy they already know.
There's like a handful of people and a gazillion cars.
It's like if there's an emergency, something would go up, and these people want to get out or something.
But there are people who are there to help these cars. Who are tasked with that. But the problem is details have remained really sparse as to who these people are, where are they, what are their qualifications. During a congressional hearing earlier this month, Waymo's chief safety officer, Mauricio Pena, declined to even elaborate on how many fleet response team or remote assistance members the company employs, or even exactly in the world they're located. Senator Ed Markey pointed out in that hearing the liability and cybersecurity implications of having people overseas influencing American vehicles.
Yeah, for sure.
So Waymo currently has a fleet of 3,000 vehicles. They have 70 remote assistance agents on duty worldwide at any given time.
That seems like a decent number.
Yeah.
70 out of how many? 3,000?
Well, that means there's roughly one human agent per 41 or so vehicles.
Listen, there are teachers in public school that would love that ratio.
Does it change, though, if you're like, what if the class is in America and the teacher is in the Philippines?
Yeah, that's the thing is I certainly agree with Markey or whoever said that, that you don't want that going overseas.
Well, there were
assuming
also
people that are not overseas are more loyal to people than.
Well, there are also some concerns about the people who might not be qualified to operate vehicles in the United States. Do they have a valid driver's license in the United States?
Do they know the rules of the road? People in the United States apparently don't understand about right of way. See, I think they think it means right away. So if you were there first, you go right away. No, there are rules called right of way.
Yeah.
I don't think people even here sometimes understand about how could someone in another country know all of our rules of the road?
And is it even a requirement that they speak English?
Hello.
Because, it seems like you'd have to be a proficient English speaker to be able to communicate with people, or maybe not. Just because you have people in America who are traveling in Waymos, we have people from all over the world coming to visit that might use a Waymo. Well, it seems like you'd have to be proficient in many, or at least have access to people who are proficient in many other languages.
Maybe.
To counteract this fear, Waymo reiterated that its software is safe, claiming that in its first 127 million fully autonomous miles, 127 million fully autonomous miles. The vehicle software was involved in, this is a little hard to put together, but follow me on this, involved in 90% fewer serious injury crashes or worse compared to human drivers in the same areas. That's a tenfold increase in safety. So proponents of Waymo say that banning them would be the equivalent of killing people.
That's interesting. Yeah, I see what they're saying. I understand that. It's but it's at some point I think people still want the human endeavor.
Yeah.
They don't want especially if it could be jimmied with from people overseas or hackers.
Yeah.
Because where we're going next, and we're already doing this in some place. I just read this. Trucking, over the road trucking, like delivery of
driverless
trucking.
trucking.
Yeah. And I'm talking about 18-wheelers.
That's really scary.
So, it's scary enough if, like, an American is somewhere off-site monitoring it. But if it can be hacked or if it has a chance to be interfered with by someone internationally,
I heard something. I heard something over the weekend, and I don't have any details on this, but I'm going to have to look it up. I don't know. It must be Waymo, because Waymo is the only one that's doing driverless cars right now. Having a hosted Waymo, so you have it's not a person who's driving, but they're actually in the car.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
And they can help you, like they know the area. They can they can answer your questions, maybe your touristy kind of questions.
So let me guess, they'll charge you more for the hosted Waymo.
Well, I don't know.
Because they're going to say, it's a great restaurant. Skoma's down on the pier. That's a great restaurant.
And how much has Skoma's paid to be the one?
Exactly.
The one that you're recommending. See, there's a whole lot of possibilities there. I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, because I mean, if I'm getting in a Waymo, if I'm getting in a driverless car, it's because I don't want to talk to anybody.
Correct.
Think back to when your boys were in junior high, and maybe even high school.
Okay.
Although I think in my house, this was more a junior high thing.
Okay.
Axe body spray.
Axe.
Do you have memories?
I do.
Do you have memories of Axe body spray?
I do. Yeah, Axe has that was the first. It seems like that was the gateway drug of body spray.
Of fragrance.
Yeah.
Fragrance for your boys.
That there was no. I mean, before that, I don't think I even had heard of body spray.
No.
It was like you have deodorant, of course.
Yeah.
But no, it's basically deodorant for your whole body.
It was
a spray perfume.
I can remember the boys leaving for school, and for hours, the smell of that Axe body spray would just kind of hang in the hang in the house where they had done the spraying. I still, when I walk around my neighborhood, I walk around there where they went to junior high, and every once in a while there will be like an empty can of Axe body spray, and this is years after my kids have been there, and it just some things just never change.
I thought you were going to say you walk by the junior high, and the junior high still smells.
Oh, I'll bet
like
it
Axe
does.
Body spray.
I'll bet it does. If you opened the door, I mean, I bet that smell just comes rushing out at you.
Locker.
So I can't believe it has taken this long for them to do this. But apparently Unilever, Axe body spray owned by Unilever, has changed the spray mechanism of Axe body spray to deliver a lighter, more controlled application. So now you can still have your 13-year-old in charge of the dosing. I kind of remember saying that too. You can wear it, but I'm going to spray it. I'm going to show you where you stand, and then we're just going to spray a little bit of it so you don't overdo it. But now you can let your boys be back in charge of the spraying of the Axe body spray. Yeah, so they're going to get a light. It's a smaller bottle, less body spray in it, but it's going to last, I think it's like up to 10 times longer because it's a finer mist, a smaller application. And I mean, I think this could change junior highs everywhere. It just is lighter spray technology. Okay. I don't know if that means what I thought it meant was that it was still kind of that continuous spray, but it would be a finer finer mist.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the bottles are now 2.9 ounces compared with 4 ounces previously. Lighter spray technology. So there's not less product, but the lighter spray technology.
It'll last as long because it's putting out smaller amounts per time.
Maybe last longer.
Yeah.
Up to 10% more sprays.
So, though, with half as much in volume, let me guess, they cost half as much. They're less now.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And, just because you can get 10% more sprays, that doesn't mean your kid isn't going to try to use them all at once. So, maybe you still might need a little bit of parental oversight.
True. And that is the Wilder Show podcast. Instagram, if you want to find us there. Search Wilder Show Pod and then follow and all those things. And if you want to email us, it's podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops on Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the places, wherever you get your podcasts. Also on the TikTok, wherever you get your podcasts. Like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And Lauren, thank you.
You bet.
We'll see you next time.
dun, dun.